So what's going on YouTube, man? Saturday morning, and I got a pretty interesting story for you. And a lot of you guys may not know this. How many of you guys know of a guy by the name of Colonel Sanders? Remember Kentucky Fried Chicken? The restaurant that's all over the United States and actually exists in other countries? Okay. Let me tell you his story real quick, because I think a lot of the times here on YouTube, I waste a lot of time debating against people whose motivation is lost, who's always trying to tell me, do you know the dollar's going to fall? You're dumb for saving this money. But usually, all the people who make these comments either are unemployed, broke themselves, or just want a shoulder to cry on. But here's the thing. My shoulder is not going to get wet. You know, let me tell you an inspirational story. Now, keep in mind also that this story about Colonel Sanders also took place during the Great Depression, when all hope was lost, and a lot of people are probably doing the same thing that we're doing now. Do you know the dollar's going to fall? Do you know this government's economy is just going to go ahead and be destroyed? So let me paint the picture for you. Colonel Sanders received his Social Security check. Now keep in mind, Colonel Sanders is 65 years old. He got a whole whopping $105. He became upset when he saw that check, because he's a guy that worked all his life and he has a $105 Social Security check. So what does he do? Does he go out and he complain and starts protests against the government and how evil they are? No. Does he go out and complain about how bad of a president we have and they're robbing the people? No. This is what he did. He asked himself a question. What is it right now that I have in my possession that I can make money off of? And the only thing he could come up with at that time was a chicken recipe. So what was his first idea? He said, okay, I have this chicken recipe. I will sell my chicken recipe to restaurants. So then he thought about it for a second. He was like, that won't even pay my rent, because once I sell it, it's sold. So then he said, okay, you know what? I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go knock on doors all over the United States. Let me repeat that. You mean not just knock on doors in my city? No. All over the United States. That's the answer for you guys who think that you want to look for jobs in your town and opportunity in your city. Okay. But anyways, going on. So he knocked on doors. And you guys know the uniform that Colonel Sanders wore. So can you imagine someone knocking on your restaurant door and say, hey, dress like that, and say, hey, I have a chicken recipe for you, you know, and I think it'll work, you know, because what he thought of is that, hey, I want to sell them this chicken recipe and I want to get some money off of their sales. They laughed at him. They laughed at the guy. But here's the funny part. How many times did he try before he got a yes? Try this. 1,009 times. Now look at that determination. Here's a guy that's facing the Great Depression, 65 years old, $105 coming in a month, drove an old beat up car, slept in the back seat, and kept going. Didn't let no one tell him no. But we're going through maybe 2 years of bad economy. And all of you guys who are sitting out there whining, talking about this is going to happen. I can't do this because this hurts. I can't do this because this. We can't save $25,000 a year. I don't make enough. What kind of heart do you have? If you guys were my leaders, I would walk out on you. Let me tell you something. You're not great until you can face a little hardship. You're not great until you can face a little. If you can't face hardship, you can't face anything. This economy right now going down has showed a lot of you who you really are. Cowards. And forgive the statement. You know, some of you guys will say, oh, that's harsh. It's not harsh. That's what you need to hear. Cowards. You sit here and waste my time telling me how bad things are, whatever. Things are not happening. A lot of the predictions that you guys have so-called made are not happening. I still to this day have people telling me, right now, businessmen telling me, my business has not been the same since 9/11. Wow, let me count it up. 9/11. Wow. 9 years ago, you're still complaining that your business is not the same about an event that happened 9 years ago. But here's the real question, guys. What are you doing to better your situation? Because, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't think whining ever helps the situation, makes the situation better. It doesn't. See, here's my answer to you guys who say, it doesn't make sense to save $25,000 a year. The dollar's going to fall. I tell you what, it's better to save $25,000 a year and have the dollar fall, right, than to save nothing and don't benefit from anything. You know? Guys, use common sense here. Where's your heart? This is supposed to be one of the most strongest countries in the world, right? But what are most of the citizens doing? Look at the channels on YouTube. There are more negative channels on finance than there are positive. But most of the guys who have those channels that are negative are broke. You want to follow somebody like that? You want to subscribe to somebody like that where day after day after day, all you hear is negative news? That's inspiring to you? It's not inspiring to me. I can't even listen to them anymore. A lot of times why I post my video on those things is because I have a big audience of whiners. I barely even listen to those channels. And you know what those channels are, guys. You know those channels. So there's many stories like this in America. But if this guy gave up, this company would not exist all over the United States. It would not exist in China. I've been in China, and I've ate at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Guys, you can do anything you want to do, but the first thing you have to do is believe it. Some people told me I can't do the $25,000 a year goal. That's too much. Okay, guess what, guys? Once you made that statement, that's what's going to happen. If you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it every time. I'll say it again. If you aim at nothing, you are going to hit it every time. So the first key in order to do something, even if you feel you can't do it, is to make the goal and say, I can do it. And believe it in your heart, I can do it. Well, no matter what it takes, I can do it. What kind of man would I be if I just gave up on my family right now and said, well, the economy's bad. I can't provide. I can't help. I don't care if you have to get out and chop wood and give it to people in the wintertime. There's a way. Don't wait for the government to sit there and create jobs for you. Create a job for yourself. A lot of you guys say, I can't be an entrepreneur. Well, what can you be? If there's no jobs waiting for you when you get out of college or when you lost a job, there's no jobs, what do you expect to do? You got to do something. Let me hear your questions and comments. Tell your friends about me. Subscribe to the channel. Put me in your favorites. If you like what I'm saying, subscribe to the channel, guys. Nice talking to you. Don't give up.